Hi everyone. Recently, the word plastics has been mentioned as the enemy of every environmental issue. It has been well mentioned with a bad reputation, like some of these pictures. But is it really the case? Let's find out where plastic comes from. Plastics are made of chemical compounds, which come from petroleum, which means that if you still need gasoline for your cars or motorbikes, there is still plastic. It's like how you can't reduce the amount of chicken drumstick if you are still demanding or asking for chicken wings. Plastic is everywhere. From the moment you wake up, it's in your toothbrushes, it's in the clothes you wear, to your bags and bottles, you literally almost everything. According to some data, America on its own releases more than 254 kilograms of trash per day. So if we continue, the world must face 12 billion tons of trash in 2050. It's more than 300 times heavier than the Empire State Building. Or if we gather them all to shape a mountain shape, it will be higher than Mount Everest. So when we first discovered renewable energy sources like solar energy, wind power, paper cups or straws, we have long been advertising that we had found the solution. But do you know where all of these alternatives come from? Solar battery storages are even more harmful than plastic because they are made of kinds of hazardous chemicals like hydrochloric acid, which can be found in your toilet cleanser liquid, sulfuric acid, which can be found in your laundry detergent, or nitric acid, which can be found in the manufacture of dyes. So let's take a look at some of the examples of biodegradable bags. According to some recent UK data, biodegradable plastic bags is nothing much different than the original one. The idea was simply just adding more chemicals so that it will quickly dissolve under the heat or the sun. So I want to ask you a question. Is it 100% eco-friendly, or is it just another type of environmental exploitation? Don't get me wrong. Now, I don't say that this ain't good, but I want people who should not be under the illusion that we had found a solution for our environmental issue. These alternatives do have their good intention, but they are not the ultimate solutions that we are looking for. So now I want you all to close your eyes in just 2 seconds to remind yourself of where you come from. Can you feel the nature whispering in the air? Now, open your eyes. We come from the nature, and the earth is such a beautiful destination that we, human, all shared. But for now, human acts like they are the master, and nature is their slaves. We exploit nature like a credit card without any limits. Just remember that anything that does not come from nature will not come back to nature. Japan is such a good example of processing and recycling trash. But they make sure that 100% of trash will be categorized and divided into different households, and then they will go back to shops, supermarkets, houses, factories, industries, and even go to another countries that for now Chinese government and Vietnam has to prohibit the plastics that is exported into the country. When I was searching for some solutions, some even came up with mind-blowing ideas, like what if we throw trash into volcanoes or sending them into space? Well, interesting. They could be possible, but even they are expensive. Even when we successfully dump them into volcanoes, your trash will only trigger a chemical reaction inside the volcano and releases more toxic chemicals into the atmosphere. Remember, the more consumption you take, the more and more trash will add up. I want to examine the very familiar process, the R, that probably you know. The first R stands for reduce. Before thinking of any complicated invention to save the earth, let's just do a very simple thing, reduce. Don't buy things it's not necessary. Turn off the lights when you don't need it. Spend less time with the AC and more with the nature. Right now in our society, we are obsessed with ownership and belongings. So the ideas of people buying cars are now not just for transportation, but also a symbol of social status. The higher social class you may get into, the more expensive cars you will buy, and definitely more artificial materials like plastic will add up. So instead of driving to work or to school, we can just walk to school or go cycling. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yan, and I am here today to deliver the idea that plastic is not the problem. We are the problem, and if we do not start to change ourselves right away, we will become the victims for our own action today. Thank you.